Hello everyone, welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So guys, as you already know, that the Home Affairs Minister Dr. Leon Schreiber is on a campaign to basically sift out all the illegal foreigners that stole South Africans' identity documents, basically rendering them as non-existent while they take over the identity of South Africans. And as you already know as well, some of these illegal foreigners, they are drug dealers, they kidnap girls and traffic them into that industry, and also they are turning little boys into gangsters, hijacking cars, etc., and so on. And of course, they are making money as a result of that. So a few videos ago, I told you guys a story, but I did not complete it, of a friend of a friend's friend who was about to get married. She discovered that she was already married to an Abogiaye, and I remember this very well. It was year 2011, somewhere there. And so I came up with an idea like, hey, I think the best way to find out who this Mr. Abogiaye is to go to every bank in South Africa and go withdraw a certain amount of money, because you are already a wife, and I'm assuming that you've been married in communal property. Therefore, they will give you a certain amount of money. Now, as you already heard the story, we eventually this Nigerian man came to Nedbank while we were sitting with the police and a divorce, what do you call this, application. And he was, of course, he was told to sign the divorce papers. And of course, the money that she already withdrawn, she said, listen, as my husband, air quotes, I'm not going to give the money back. He was so angry. Of course, he was arrested for fraud. He was arrested for all kinds of other stuff as well that he was involved in, as the investigations dug deeper into this Nigerian man who was illegal in South Africa. Turns out he came to South Africa on a visitation visa for the World Cup. Like many of them that are in South Africa, they all arrived in 2010 and they never left. And as a result of that, they noticed that in South Africa, without an identity document, you cannot do anything. It's difficult to live life without an identity document, especially when now and again police, they do raids and they want to see your papers, if you're legal or not legal. So they thought, if I have a South African ID, South African passport, and everything else, and if I get children in South Africa, they will become South African citizens. Basically, the whole Chidima situation. Now, where the part that I did not say is when the divorce came through, my friend's friend discovered that this Nigerian man had over 30 something million rand. I can't remember the figure, but I know it was in the 30s of millions of rands. Since they were married in communal property, she fought that she takes all of it, because it was number one, she argued that these proceeds were accumulated out of fraud, because she was married without her knowledge. And on top of that, she's suing this very man for having married her without her consent. And so basically, she made a whole argument in court, and therefore the court, even though the court did say that she does not deserve a cent of this money simply because the man committed a crime of identity theft, because you can call it an identity theft. And on top of that, he was also committing crimes in South Africa, hence the amount of money. But because her lawyer made such a great argument, she was given everything that belongs to this man. That house, that cars, that money, you name it, she got it all. And I was thinking, can somebody marry me without my knowledge so that I can also go and find out how much they are worth? So I can also make that same very argument, because I believe it's a precedent in our courts right now. Now, that also made me think, hey, now that Dr. Leon Schreiber is busy with this aggressive campaign to sift out all the illegal foreigners that obtained South African identity through theft, and let's say your ID that was stolen, because of course there are going to be lots of people who are going to discover that actually their identity has been stolen without them even knowing that their identity has been stolen. Now, let's say now you discover that your identity was stolen, and the person that stole your ID is a multimillionaire, possibly even a billionaire. And they have houses in Nigeria, they have houses in Cape Town, Joburg, they even have buildings that they're renting out and whatever businesses that they have, and it amounts to lots and lots of money. Isn't that yours, technically speaking, because they were registered in your name, your ID, that type of situation? What's going to happen? Because I've been waiting for Dr. Leon Schreiber to say something about if you discover that your identity document was stolen and you had no idea that your identity document was stolen, and now you discover that the person that stole your identity is actually a very wealthy Nigerian man. Maybe not a Nigerian man, could be a Ugandan, Tanzanian, Ghanaian, whatever it is, as long as they are not born in South Africa and they stole your identity. And it just so happened they have all this money. Isn't that money technically belonging to you? Shouldn't you like, okay, you stole my identity. Now can I have everything that belongs to me? I'm waiting to hear what happens. What is the repercussions for that individual? Because I'm thinking possibly the state will forfeit all these assets because they were ill-gotten through a crime. But then what about you, the owner of the identity document? Possibly you even struggled for years and years and years. Can't you sue? I'm just wondering, can't you sue? Can't you use this precedent of my friend's friend? That listen, I was traumatized when I found out that I'm married without my consent. Can you imagine if you've lived a life of poverty, and not just poverty, abject poverty, simply because some selfish dude that came from some country on the African continent stole your identity, and as a result of that, they started accumulating a lot of assets and money and all that stuff. Shouldn't that belong to you? I'm just wondering, guys, what are your thoughts? I'm just willing to hear what would you do if you found out the person that stole your identity? Will you go after the money and the assets and everything else? Or you just allow the government to forfeit that into the country's coffers? Because I will have an issue. I'll be like, okay, wait, South Africa, wait. Can we share 50-50 of this? Because at the end of the day, I suffered. There's no way that I will suffer so, and now I have to start from scratch. Can I at least have some kind of foundation to get myself started in life by giving me half of this individual's assets? And of course, this individual have to go back to their country with absolutely nothing. And then secondly, if they have their children that are born in South Africa, probably to even a South African woman, now, what's the issue with that marriage? Is it null and void, or it's going to be legitimate? What's going to happen? Because clearly, when they married, both of them said South African citizens, right? And now it's discovered that your husband is not a South African citizen. He stole somebody else's identity. As a wife, what are you going to do? Don't you think all that stuff that he has made, the businesses, the money, the assets, don't you think all that belongs to you because he lied to you? I mean, you are married in commutal property after all, even though it's fake marriage. Don't you think that all of that stuff belongs to you? The government should not take a cent of it, because I feel like the government is going to take this money and the assets and all that stuff. I mean, you must also remember some of these men, they are in charge, or they, air quotes again, own hijacked buildings, hijacked houses, and they are renting out these businesses and also these houses. Some of these houses are turned into the D word dens, as well as the S brothels and things like that. I'm just wondering. And let's say he also has assets in America, like millions of dollars in America, or in London. They have business accounts, and thousands or millions of pounds are also in those bank accounts. What are you going to do? I'm just interested because I was thinking about this. I'm like, it's all good and well that the Minister of Home Affairs is checking who is who in South Africa. Oh, by the way, I did check my status today. I went to the bank. The bank said, cool, you are cleared. I also am going to go to Home Affairs this week. I just made my appointment. This is just to make sure, guys, I lost 6 IDs in my lifetime. 6 IDs. So I'm just double checking, making sure that is there anybody that I can go and say, all of this now belongs to me because you attempted or you actually stole my identity? I'm thinking about it. What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comment section. I will highly appreciate it. And by the way, guys, I also want to say thank you for watching the ads. Yes, this channel got monetized on when was it? Just last week. Let's put it that way. And I appreciate you for watching the ads. Those of you that are not watching, why not? This is a lot of work that we do here on these streets. So by watching the ads, you are helping out. Thank you. Also, super thanks will be appreciated as well. Thank you. Anyways, guys, please let me know. I'm very, very intrigued to know. I mean, if you know somebody whose identity has been stolen and now it's discovered the person who has stolen it, just do your research and find out if they are not millionaires. If they are, take it all. That's just what I'm thinking. It's yours. It was accumulated through your identity. So I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe the minister will have to clear things up. Other than that, guys, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And when you subscribe, make sure to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and thank you for watching the ads. See you next time with a new video.